If you're ready to learn why Drake's first name, Karen, and last name, Cupcake, are being shamed online for allegedly staging a fan meet and greet, then read on. In addition, Cake Dragon just emailed Drake some very subtle but obvious jabs at his recent clip shows in reaction to Push entering a lawsuit against him for Not Like Us. Make sure to subscribe and give a like. As we see today, the phony meet and greet from Karen's team and AET's recent act of clowning Drake demonstrate how the ultimate rap dork is simply receiving yet another round of all-time L's for what he just did. Be sure to leave that like so that the lies are visible to everybody. Rap is a prime example of how a legend in the genre should express disapproval of what this walking mega-moron is doing, as demonstrated by what Pusha T recently accomplished. What's causing all these problems for the courtside Karen of rap right now, and what is making everyone stop supporting him in court day by day, is just this mix of court romantics that have been unavoidable this week because, of course, Drake has chosen to become Jerry Springer, and this at the same time. Exposure and obsession with Cupcake's predicament, as he is making every action he takes serve as a constant reminder to everyone that he is the first rapper to sue following a back-and-forth lyrical exchange and to go above and beyond in an attempt to prolong this matter. Speaking of being overexposed and upsetting everyone, what has now thrown everyone into a tizzy and prompted them to question what is happening with drab old Lubre and the optics that he and his crew are attempting to persuade people to believe. As you can see, they are all making an appearance in these films, which are a continuation of the OBO Karaoke Circus's stopover in Cologne, Germany. And it seems like they are attempting to persuade us of a lot of things at the moment for whatever reason. People tried to meet Drake and then applauded him at the hotel where he was staying. This is where things start to go strange, and we now know why. So just listen. It is all because of these videos, which were shared only among Drake's team members and then used as stand-ins for him and the throng of people in this photo. However, despite all of this, to start, even though it seemed highly unlikely that Cupcake would go to such lengths as to set up a phony crowd in an attempt to appear as though he is this big deal. The more that has emerged from this, the more you see that the alleged Lubre lover stood there and then applauded this guy when he came out, and for a very doubtful period, they believed this to be Drake. Additionally, you see that nobody here is carrying any merchandise, records, or other items, when at least one person usually does at fan events. We can tell from this that something is awry, and we've got you covered right now. To make matters worse, many did link all of this to a company that you could employ to attract large crowds for events in order to attempt to boost anyone's fame and hype. However, despite all of this, well, listen, and the fact that the team is filming the fans rather than the fans recording the team, farmers had to get to work and attempted to create the most obnoxious captions possible in order to generate engagement. Naturally, people concluded that this was just another instance of the awful Drake and MJ analogies, which I won't even bring up because this makes this look like this. Naturally, though, no one possesses even the most basic critical thinking abilities or media literacy these days. There was still much discussion about who else could pull this off, get this kind of response from leaving their hotel room, and just gather this many people. Even so, this audience isn't that large to begin with. Naturally, the fact that other artists were in similar circumstances allowed you to observe it. However, there are a lot of issues now that the law attempted to include Cupcake in the discussion with MJ, the Beatles, and this elite group of musicians. On closer inspection, it appears that this meeting was arranged solely based on the information provided, which is perplexing.
Let's just get started, though. First of all, I will state that you want to watch Aura and witness fans truly waiting in line for a musician they adore when Kendrick Lamar made an unexpected visit to SZA's Not Beauty before the second show of the Grand National Tour at MetLife Stadium. The entire crowd at the second largest mall in the US is physically waiting in line for Kendrick, as we have witnessed here, which is extraordinary. And as for itself, I'm simply going to put it out there once more. In contrast to this Drake meet and greet, when the crowd is being recorded, when you see Kendrick Lamar, the fans are filming him. To put it simply, these discussions have now focused on Drake, his fame here, and whatever else they're attempting to promote with all of this, which is somehow paving the way for a lawsuit over a rap feud. Once more, the best way to see that Drake is lying to us is to simply look at the facts. To start, it appears that the PR team for both of them was working hard this week in Cologne, Germany. as Drake's friend Yeet drew a similar crowd for his meetup, which all of the pages had to post about. Based on that reasoning, I suppose Yeet is on par with Drake and Michael Jackson, since their respective fan bases were the same size. Beyond this, though, I will say this. Isn't it incredible that when we try to compare this Drake meet and greet and crowd gathering to a video of Michael Jackson, Kendrick Lamar, or, well, any other superstar interacting with fans for that matter, it would look like this? The more you follow this pipeline and examine all the clips that appear to be from this enormous interaction, the more you realize that not a single one of the videos that went viral from this interaction even remotely showed Lubry leaving his room and interacting with all these quote-unquote real-life fans. Once more, this is the reason critical thinking is so crucial. Just relax and listen to me explain why you're being played, Drake, if you're standing there watching. All I can say is that in a field that is fixated on appearances, and Drake is in a position where he needs to appear as though he has more support than ever to survive at all, it all seems like it was done for him very conveniently. I apologize for the legitimacy as well. It's hilarious because nobody has been able to provide evidence that Drake left through these exact doors. In addition to this, the great MCs that value rap and the craft of lyricism above all else are on the other side of hip-hop, and they are desperate enough to put Drake in a conversation with someone he doesn't belong with because of a phony and fabricated clip. The greatest hip-hop combo and rappers, excluding Kendrick Lamar, are currently on tour with the Clips, and their performances are getting better every night. They are called Pusha and Malice. As a result, Push and Malice and his group have been out there demonstrating what the greatest live rapping ever from icons with this level of professional success looks like. Additionally, the Clips are attempting to just perform their new songs off their incredible album, Let God Sort Them Out, as well as their iconic catalog, as is customary for these rappers who merely wish to create amazing art. Lubry and the Drake haters continue to pull them back into the chaos of all that has been happening in the core of the genre in which he finds himself. This has reached a new low point, as Drake's team is blatantly dragging the label's past with Pusha and excluding his songs and lyrics for Drake's advantage in the lawsuit. Drake is complaining that he censored Push, so why can't he censor Kendrick Lamar? Pushin has come out and gotten another laugh at Karen in response to being brought up in the Drake drama once more. Now that he is a free agent and can say whatever he wants, he is simply letting him know that he is aware of what is happening and that all he can do is laugh and troll him in the funniest ways imaginable. In addition, Push is no longer constrained by labels or prevented from expressing his truth because of his relationship with Drake.
Push just possesses the willpower to carry out his desires. And I believe that Push doesn't even care to look at Drake in the same way he used to, given how successful he is and how he may even be having the best year of his more than 20-year rap career right now. Instead, he is simply making fun of the man and trolling his position for its humorous value. As of right now, when tensions are on the rise, Push has been drawn into this even though he did not want to. All he wanted was to continue making music and striving to be among the greatest rappers in the world. Pusha T just made fun of Drake in one of the craziest ways we've ever seen. They said this after a fan sent videos of their child at the event expressing how much they loved the legendary rapping they were performing. In response, Pusha remarked, "Congratulations to all the wonderful fathers who are raising sons with outstanding musical taste." And so, listen, Push knew exactly what he was doing by making the clips and their movement larger, as well with the words, timing, and everything else. Additionally, he is doing it in a way that makes him troll old people, and you are concealing a youngster Karen. And Push's use of language and phrase alone made him the laughingstock of the whole situation. Everyone's genuinely entertaining responses clearly understood what he was attempting to do. Furthermore, Push's response to Drake essentially consists of bringing up fatherhood, the one thing that has caused him to spiral out on so many different individuals for so long. Naturally, we are witnessing that at the moment as he is pursuing the test. As he is quite literally going through things like this, Push It is still this voice of reason for rap and where it has to go with Malice, allowing everything in hip-hop to be resolved simply by the way things are evolving. Once more, Push can reply to Drake's granks and ridicule him, and at the same time, Karen is losing her mind over phony meet and greets for cupcakes. When you look at hip-hop nowadays, there has never been a more accurate statement than to simply state and quote Pusha T and Malice that hip-hop is letting God handle everything. Having said all of this, please share your thoughts on phony meet and greets, how desperate this is, and how much he is lying with this. Because once more, when have we ever witnessed a gathering from the viewpoint of the artist rather than the fans? What are your thoughts on this small troll that pushed it at the same time? And do you think Push will keep addressing Drake more as he attempts to reveal more and more about his behind-the-scenes activities and to remind Pusha T of the hardships he endured simply for being a better rapper than him? I'm eager to hear your thoughts on all of this. Now, please remember to subscribe and like the video if you watched it all the way through. It's really helpful to me. And now, if you want to see how prescient this was, Drake just looked bad while responding to the Kendrick Lamar lawsuit live on stage during his event, and thus he was ridiculed quite severely for this. Watch the recommended video.